Day 3 of skating with Steve McKeegan, the former Leafs, Toronto Maple Leafs goalie coach. Hockey was something I've always been passionate about from when I first started skating when I was 4 years old to now at 23, almost 20 years, 2 decades later. I've had opportunities in junior, I've had opportunities in college. I think one of the hardest things to do as any individual or any athlete, any person, is to admit your flaws and work off them. It was always my goal and my dream that if I had the opportunity to not have to work to make money, to have this extra free time because I'm not working, and to have all the assets and the variables in place to give myself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week commitment to playing hockey and to playing my game, I would take that opportunity. It's something that drove me nuts. The fact that I need a stick, that's coming out of my own pocket. I gotta pay for a trip, like right now when I'm in London, that comes out of my own pocket. I gotta go for an SPHL free agent camp, that comes out of my own pocket. This is the way the world works. And if you have to have money, you have to work. Working full-time out of high school and working full-time for 2, maybe I think it was 3 years out of high school while playing junior hockey and while trying to chase junior hockey, I couldn't afford to be in the gym 3 days a week. I couldn't afford to go to Strathroy to train with Steve McKeegan. I couldn't afford to have a goalie coach on the regular that I was working with that I could trust and I could afford and that I could seek other resources. I had shit goalie coaches in that time when I was 17, 18. This is my full-time income. I make YouTube videos and I get paid to do it. I get paid more than I ever did working a minimum wage job.
And my biggest fear before was that if I failed, I'd have to go back to the real world of working a job. Now that YouTube has become my job and making these videos and documenting my hockey journey is my job, I don't have that fear of getting cut anymore. The motivation I've always had to succeed in hockey and to be driven, it hasn't gone away. Because I know there's gonna be another opportunity and I don't have to go back to working a real job. It's an amazing feeling.
The fact that I'm being able to get paid to essentially play hockey by making these videos, I do have to commit a good amount of my time to the filming of this. So for example, putting a camera up right now to film this. But I will do that any day of the fucking week compared to working a shitty full-time $12 an hour, $14 an hour job. I have been given a gift to further my hockey career in a way that I was never able to previously working these jobs. Call me crazy, and a lot of people will. This is a no-brainer. Doing this is 1,000 times better than going to school, paying to go to school, or working a full-time job that I hate, working for some boss who's a dink, in a cubicle at an office job, which is what I would be doing with my business degree, which I'm halfway to, or a business diploma, which I could get anytime I want. And hockey only comes around one time in life. You only have one opportunity. If I was to take a year or 2 off right now, I'd be done. There's no way I'll ever get any opportunity. I still have a goal, and I want to accomplish it. I think I can. I'm excited to ski with Steve today.
Good morning. Can I get an XL dark roast with 3 milks, please? And I'll get a medium regular coffee. The north end of a southbound skunk, like open ass.
We're just gonna start off with some crease movements to begin with. Gonna step out to here like you've got a breakaway. Come to a complete stop, go back as hard as you can, and then hit your butterfly like I quick shot you on a breakaway. That's it. I like that angle you slid there better than to the post. You take your 6'5" and you make it, this is what I see from you a lot when you get into your slide mode. Everything collapses down like you're trying to make a gut trap. But when you land, try to keep your thighs as vertical as possible and use your 6'5". And when you start collapsing down like that, especially if the puck's gapped out, you're creating top shelf that doesn't need to be there. Go. Post to post, RVH, RVH, back and forth. And good, now we're ready. All we're doing is simple pass outs from the corner. They're gonna stop and shoot it. Hurt your arm?
Yeah, no pad.
Matt, can you go give him a hug?
You want a back rub, please?
We're gonna work on some low angle drives, but if you had Shea Weber right here, he's gonna do something quick in this little piece of the pie. You got nobody helping in front, that's the front net read you make, then you have to have a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a flow back so you can get all the way across without getting planted with your back foot. See, that's nice. That's perfect right there because there's not much net. once he started to walk, you ran out of momentum and your slide got extinguished. You got to have a little bit more flow to get a better push on that. Get that right leg loaded up. That's your push leg. If you're finding the structure of what you're doing is working for you, don't change. You also have to adjust if you're playing with better players or you find you're starting to get lit up on something.
I think my problem with this one is I'm on the fence between stopping him on the wraparound, stopping the walkout and pass option. I need to pick one.
In the priority game, you don't let him score by shooting. That's the first thing. And at the very least, don't let him score in the first half of his walk. If he's got enough time to walk past halfway, that's 100% on your D-zone coverage. Okay. And obviously you got to get to the wrap too, but just don't let him score on the shot or anywhere across the first half. There's nobody in the world that's aiming for your armpit. So when he put it through your armpit, it's complete shit luck, like he wasn't aiming there. There's still nobody on the planet that looks at the armpit and says, you know what, I'm going to try the armpit. They don't. It's a good sequence there, Trav. Seeing the puck well. There was no lucky saves there. You're right on it. Nice. And stop. Good job. Good job.
So we're going to do questions themed to me, and I'd like you to be as brutally honest as possible because I think a lot of people kind of fall in the same boat here. Wyatt Nelson would like to know, what level does Trav have the potential to play based on his abilities?
I think if Trav keeps working on his game and tightening it up, he could play in the SPHL. Very simply, he's going to have to be Trav 1.0 9 games out of 10. At any given moment, Trav can make any save, any situation, and he can do some great things. I just think there has to be consistency and control in his game that isn't there yet. So in the interim, he's going to have to be playing college hockey and growing and maturing at that level. 1 or 2 years, and I think you'll be where you need to be.
Do you think Trav could potentially make an ECHL team?
No, I don't. And the reason for that is the ECHL are all contracted teams with affiliations in the NHL. ECHL teams are populated by professionally contracted goalies. And to get a random free agent playing there, that's a guy that's been a stud in junior hockey or a stud in college that somehow slipped through the system. And by college, I mean US Division I, which is a massive difference between Canadian college hockey. As an example, a Division I team in the United States would beat the Western Mustangs by 10 goals with their best players. So college hockey in Canada is not really college hockey like it is in the States.
Let's say I become an ECHL caliber goalie. That's still not enough.
Even if he was good enough today to play in the ECHL, they don't care because they've got contracted players that are 20 years old that are getting stuck under contract payments that they're going to play. So even if he was better than a kid that was there, it wouldn't matter to them because they're not going to pay 2 times for the same position. And that's one thing people don't understand about professional hockey. NHL teams carry 5 contracts. 2 NHL guys, 2 in the American League, and 1 floater in the East Coast League. And it's sometimes 6, but mostly 5 contracts. Somebody gets hurt, people bump up. But when they already got contracted players playing there, it doesn't matter if you're better than them. It just matters that they're going to pay the guy they get stuck paying. They're not going to make any changes to that plan no matter what you do.
Is Trav going to be getting Bauer Ultrasonics next?
I can tell you for a fact that the set of gear that he is going to be getting next, one set, is not Bauer.
Where do you see Trav being in the next 2 years, sorry?
I think if he keeps working on his game and focuses on tightening up things and the control elements that we're working on over time, I think he could be playing in the SPHL. I think up until that point, without growth in his game, he won't be playing anywhere. But if he continues to grow, he could grow himself enough to play in the SPHL.
I'm assuming you don't see that in 2 years, though, obviously, right?
I think 2 to 3 years is reasonable if you continue to develop and grow.
Keep in mind I have 4 years of Canadian eligibility or 5 in the
Correct.
US for college.
Yeah.
In your personal opinion, what is Travis's greatest strength and biggest weakness?
I think Trav's biggest strength is he's got a hunger to learn. He's respectful and he welcomes knowledge and he tries to implement it in his game. So he's a very teachable, coachable kid. So for me, that's his greatest strength. As far as the size thing, everybody's his size at the pro level, so that's not a strength. That's just you need to have that. And as far as his biggest weakness, I would say is focus and being very single-minded and focused on nothing in his life except the next puck. And anything that distracts from that may slow down the process.
I like that one. I guess this is open to interpretations, but does Trav have what it takes to play college and or pro hockey on a full-time basis? I mean, I already have played college hockey full-time, but...
I think Trav can certainly play Canadian college hockey on a full-time basis. Pro hockey, I think there's some misnomers too with pro hockey. So pro hockey for me is something that you can do basically for a living. Now, when you play in the SPHL, you make probably $8,000 to $10,000 total a year. That's not a living. It's technically pro hockey because you're getting paid to play it, but the SPHL for most effects isn't professional hockey. In college hockey, as I said, in Canada, is not like American college hockey. So he certainly could play Canadian college hockey, and he certainly could play in the SPHL down the road if he continues to develop. But as far as 60 grand a year jobs in the NHL or American League stuff, not going to happen.
What is the most needed thing to work on with Travis's game?
I just like to work on him doing less to do more and not getting in his own head, worrying about this technique, that technique, should I be doing this, should I be doing that. Simplifying and controlling his game. Less movement, less thinking will make him far better goaltender with what he's doing right now.
Does Steve like and know you? Obviously you know me, but...
I don't really like Trav. I just spend time with him because I like learning about camera equipment. No, actually, I think Trav is a great kid. I think the one thing people don't understand about him from his online presence and from people chirping him is he's generally a great-hearted kid who's going about this in the right way and trying to grow his game and just document the journey. So I think, it's easy to like the kid. He's very enthusiastic, listens, works hard. So any goalie that wants to listen and work hard, I like.
This, I think, is a great question that a lot of people don't understand. Obviously, you and I know the answer. Why did Trav get cut this season? I guess it would depend on what team, but...
Yeah, which team he got cut from
which
quite
of
a
the
few.
which of the six?
I can make this really simple for you, and this applies to all you guys out there. Why did you get cut? Why did Trav get cut? Because they didn't think you could help them. That's all it is. At the level Trav's playing at or trying to play at, the reason they get cut is because they just basically decide the juice ain't worth the squeeze. So he's not going to be able to provide what we need to win games, and coaches are selfish there. They want to win. So it doesn't become down to politics or anything else at the lower levels of pro hockey like the SPHL or these college teams and different things. It's, can this guy help me win more games, and do I have a better option? That's all it is. They have a better option. If he gets cut, they've got a better option.
Final question of the day. Did you truly get better, and what did he think you needed to work on more than anything?
It's been interesting to watch Trav in a very limited way. We've worked with him earlier, and we got him back here again. I think the biggest thing with goalies that are elite like he is, it's going to be incremental changes. Like, you don't see major changes in the game. And any coach that's trying to force major structural changes into a kid at this level is foolhardy. So I'm not looking for major changes, but I like his improvement in his puck handling, positional, and rebound control game. So we got a long ways to go, but I think he's headed in the right direction, and I am seeing growth and development there, so I'm happy with that.
And that will conclude our Q&A. Thanks for shitting on me.